student in the university will find themselves doing a research project or thesis, whether you are an undergraduate student, whether you are a master's student or a PhD student. And therefore today we want to talk about how to formulate a research problem, what constitutes a research problem, and what you need to avoid when you're coming up with a research problem. I am joined by my friend Dr. Rachel Macharia, who will take us through this very, very important topic. Now, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dr. Rachel Macharia.
Thank you, Dr. Mary Mogo, my friend and a colleague, for the opportunity to discuss research problem.
Dr. Tell us, what is a research problem and how do you formulate a research problem?
Before I discuss research problem, allow me to briefly mention what research is. And research is an examination, it is an investigation, it is a process of collecting data, analyzing that data or that information, and interpreting that information to answer questions. This process must be within certain framework, and this certain framework has approaches, and these approaches are methods, techniques, designs, and these techniques must undergo a test of validity and reliability for them to qualify to make an investigation a scientific research. And therefore, I go to research problem. And what is a problem? A problem is any situation where a gap exists between the actual and the desired ideal state. That's what a problem is. Then, what is a research problem? A research problem, therefore, refers to some difficulty which the researcher experiences in the context of either a theoretical or practical situation and wants to obtain a solution to the same. That's what research problem is. And to formulate a research problem, one needs to read wide. There are steps that are involved in selecting or in coming up with a research problem. The first step, it is to identify the broad area that one is interested in, a broad area. And this broad area, for example, in corporates, we have broad areas like, if I give an example of a problem, training programs are not as effective as anticipated. Training programs, it's a big area if you have a problem in that area. Another example is that the sales volumes of a certain product is not picking up. Again, that's a very wide area. Okay, and therefore it is from this point that we go to the step number 2 where we identify a specific problem within this broad area that will form the basis of the research study. At this second step, we are able to specifically go to the problem. Again, we have to read wide. We have to do a lot of literature review, sometimes to even do some interviews at this point. Because as you do your literature review to come up with a specific problem within this specific area, For example, if I use the case of the sales volume of a certain product is not picking up, there are so many causes that can cause the sales volume not to grow. For example, it could be the distribution has a problem. It could be employees are not motivated. It could be promotion has an issue or advertisement, etc. And when you read and interrogate people, you are able to narrow down now to the specific problem. At this point, you are able to come up with the research variables. Like I have mentioned, distribution is a variable. Employees' motivation is a variable. And promotion is another variable. At this point, you are able to define your research problem statement. From there, you go to defining the statement itself now. Write the statement because you have the variables. The third step, it is to raise research questions. And the other step, it is to formulate research objectives. The research objectives must be SMART. I know Dr. Mary Mogo has discussed the SMART objectives in her other videos. The other one, it is you need to assess your objectives. Double check to ensure that you have the right or correct objectives.
Thank you very much, Dr. Macharia. Tell us what constitutes a good research problem, because many times students struggle to come up with that problem.
A good research problem should address some knowledge gap or a gap in knowledge. In academia, we contribute some new knowledge into the academia world. In corporates, we also add some knowledge, some know-how, something people did not know, but through your research problem, you are adding something new. The other thing is that a good research problem must be significant enough to contribute to existing body of knowledge or to existing body of research. And the other one is it should lead to further research. Someone else should be able to take up that research problem and continue using other variables. All this research can be replicated. This problem can be replicated and someone else can carry on the research. The other thing is that a good research problem should have the interest of the researcher. The researcher must have some very interest in this particular problem. And the other thing is that the approach or the way you want to solve this problem must be ethical.
Finally, Dr. could you tell us what is it that a student should avoid when they are coming up with a research problem?
Yes, there are many things to avoid, and especially in academia, we talk about plagiarism, where you take someone's work and you exactly do what they have done without much investigation of your own, without originality. You need originality to be able to have a good research problem. Must avoid unpreparedness. Read wide, investigate, do a lot of literature review, prepare yourself. The second thing you should avoid, it is overdone areas, overdone subjects. Areas that have been done again and again, avoid those areas. The other thing is avoid using one source of information. Get as many sources of information as possible. The other thing that you should avoid, it is contradicting information or contradicting view, controversial subjects. These controversial subjects will sometimes give you a hard time coming up with getting information or collecting data. The other thing is avoid limiting yourself to internet information. Get books, get journals, and many other sources like newsletters, in other organizational data. The other thing is avoid being too narrow, avoid being vague. Make sure that your research problem can be explained to a layman and they are able to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rachel Macharia, for your time. We really appreciate that you found time to take us through this very important topic. I hope any student listening to us has been helped. And if you have any issues, you can leave a comment in the comment section. We'll answer your questions. If there's anything that you want us to discuss in this channel, let us know. And of course, like this video, share this video, and of course, do not forget to subscribe, because this is where we affect lives positively. This is where we make your life easier. God bless you.